Disability. It all too often happens. But you know it's never going to happen to you, and if it does, you've got a disability policy. It's probably provided through your employer and you're going to be taken care of. Not necessarily. One thing a lot of people are unaware of is that disability policies are covered by a federal law called ERISA that was originally designed to deal with pensions. That was back in the 80s when a lot of bad things were happening with regard to pensions, the way companies were handling the pension fund. So Congress enacted a law designed to protect the pensions. The problem is that law now applies to all benefits provided by an employer. Medical benefits, accident health coverage, disability, life insurance, all of these things are covered by ERISA. But Congress never really intended the law to cover all of these things, and in that respect, today it's really a lousy law. A lot of federal judges don't like it. A lot of people say it needs to be reworked, but Congress has not done anything about it. So where we find ourselves today is that insurance companies, when they are considering whether you're disabled under a disability policy, proceed to decide what information to get, and then they decide whether or not that information is sufficient to support a claim for disability. In short, they act as investigator, judge, and jury. Well, what happens if you're not happy with the result that you get and you get turned down for disability, or you get payments for a period of time and then you're cut off? What can you do? Well, the law provides you can take it into federal court, but guess what? In federal court, the only evidence the judge can consider is the evidence that's been put together by the insurance company or evidence that you have submitted. Now that's terribly important because a lot of people will sometimes receive disability benefits for a period of time from their insurance company, and then the insurance company says, we find you are no longer disabled. People receiving the disability will say, well, you guys used to pay me. I think you just misunderstand. So let me write a little letter and say, hey, why don't you reconsider this? Because the insurance company will say, you have a right to appeal this decision. Well, I'm appealing it by saying I'm still disabled. Look at the stuff again. Insurance company then writes back and says, no, we find you're not disabled. What happened there is the one time this person wrote a single sentence saying, I'm still disabled, please reconsider this, was the nature of their appeal. And that was their one and only chance to submit additional evidence. Maybe the insurance company didn't ask for reports from some of the attending doctors. Maybe they didn't get some of the information that was extremely important. Doesn't make any difference. You have one chance to submit it. One chance, and that's in this, quote, appeal. A lot of people don't really realize what's going on. A lot of people are suffering true disability. Sometimes they're in such pain. Sometimes they have also some memory difficulties or other difficulties that prevent them from putting together all the information necessary. So what's the solution? The solution is to realize this, that when you file an appeal with a disability insurance company, you got one shot at it, and you've got to put everything into that appeal. If you don't feel up to it, you need to approach somebody that knows how to do this. There are law firms that specialize in disability, but the important thing is you need, at that one point in time, to submit an appeal that will provide all of the evidence that a federal judge can look at and say you, in fact, were disabled because you've got that one shot and that one shot only. This is so terribly important. Hopefully you'll never face a situation like that. If you are confronting a situation like that and you've been turned down repeatedly, boy, you might be too late. If you are, however, get to an attorney who does handle this kind of work, and hopefully you're going to be able to pull something out of this. But it's a terrible situation under the law that we have here in the U.S. today with ERISA and disability policies. Something needs to be done. Congress is doing nothing, and in the interim, you need to be well aware that you've got big problems if an insurance company denies you for disability. Okay, we bring you this news, not particularly good news, but we bring you the law as it exists, and we bring it to you every week so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.